You know, Sportsbook hit yesterday.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, do you know how many parlays were murdered, decimated by the kneecap Osingba touchdown.
Cabinda.
Jason
Cabinda.
Cabinda touchdown catching Detroit Lions, dude.
Yeah.
They killed every parlay that any human had. You have Cardinals money line just to throw it in there as like okay, here we go. No matter how you felt about the spread, what the Cardinals were going to do, I thought they were going to bounce back, be a team. They looked a lot like last year's Cardinals all of a sudden on the road against Detroit, but Detroit played unbelievable.
Perfect game by Detroit.
They played
absolutely perfect.
And Jared Goff at the end says, hey, why don't we win the next 3, boys?
That's right.
Why not?
And then win 10 next year and then win a playoff game.
Ooh. MCDC's got the boys buzzing up there in Detroit.
Coach of the year.
Play hard for him.
100% coach of the year.
But anyways, that ruined so many parlays.
Oh, yeah.
Because none of us knew that MCDC had the boys buzzing in there.
No.
I saw Kelvin Shepard, former teammate of mine. I think he's with the linebackers over there. I saw him on the sideline getting hyped. Then whenever I saw Deuce Staley, I think, was celebrating in there. Antoine Randall was in there. I think Randall was in there. I saw the sideline. I'm like, oh, this team, you know, is the living embodiment of what every player says. If I get a team, I'm going to bring all my guys that I think are really good, and they're going to come in here, and we're going to have the respect of the locker room, and we're going to go to work. And they didn't look like that for a long time. They looked terrible at football.
Oh, terrible.
Bad at football. That locker room after yesterday's win over the Cardinals, which is the #1 team in the NFL at the time, was fucking electrifying. Good for MCDC and good for Detroit, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm so happy. I actually didn't know how to react to that win. Because you get up a lot of points. We're up 17-0. My favorite bet in the world is to take Cardinals money line in that situation. The Lions made 0 mistakes.
Man, good for the Lions. Good for the sports books, too.
Yeah.
Good for FanDuel. That Chubb Tud tonight, though, is boosted to +140 at FanDuel. It's our boost. We hope it hits. We need to get hot. It has been tough. I'm gonna let you know, it has been a tough year to gamble, but we're going to continue to do that with our lives every day.
Hell yeah.
Life's a gamble. Let's win them all. Let's talk about that Cardinals team before we get to the phones. What's going on, dude? Cliff Kingsbury said we got outcoached, we got outplayed. He didn't look like he lost his spirit or his soul. He still looked incredibly cool, but that team looks a lot like they looked last year when they were self-admittedly very inconsistent. On top of the mountain they were after the first 7 games, obviously. Kyler Murray, this is via at NFL on CBS, 7-0 through the first 7, 73.5 completion percentage, 286 yards per, and he had 17 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. The last 4 games, 1-3, 63%, 259, 3 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. What is going on over there? Do you think it's because Nuke is out that we saw him struggle this past weekend? And is this what the future looks like for them, AJ?
Well, it definitely doesn't help Kyler Murray in their offense with Hopkins out. But, I mean, as crazy as it is to say, you got to give the Lions a lot of credit here, especially defensively in this game. I understand the Cardinals have been, 1-3 in the last 4. But still, like the Lions, they answered every single time. I felt like, okay, here we go. Cardinals going to find a way, get back in it, and the Lions continue to shut them down. So Dan Campbell got to celebrate afterwards, and I don't know. I think he gave Detroit some hope.
I think they were all in Detroit, which I appreciate. Afterwards, in the speech, I think we could all assume that the locker room was not on Urban Meyer's side.
No.
Right.
There's 2 rookie head coaches, 2 bad teams, bad franchises, not a lot of high expectations, 2 very different cultures being built, it feels like. That locker room with MCDC, MCDC cried at one point. You think MCDC was going to hop on a plane and not fly home with the boys after any loss? No way.
No way.
He's literally flying back with the team. He's drinking a
bottle of Jack Daniels, man.
Oh, coffee too.
Oh, well, yeah, douche, but
He's staying up, no stone unturned. I think that entire roster has seen the work that MCDC and the rest of the coaching staff has put in, and them themselves have put in the film room and figuring out their identity and trying to find it. It feels like a culmination of all of that. All that earnest, all the sowing, you're finally reaping the benefit of that, and we get a chance to see it afterwards. I think they love MCDC up there, man. I honestly believe, I think they love them up there. And although, they're only hurting their draft capital right now. And Jared Goff says, why not just win the rest of the games? And, the reason why you wouldn't is because of draft capital. I don't think they give a fuck who's in there. They had a number 45 who's the 9th leading tackler in Penn State history, score a touchdown last. There's a lot of shitty numbers doing a lot of great things for the Lions, and that makes me feel like MCDC is pulling a lot out and bringing in and welcoming and giving a lot of opportunity to a lot of people. And I think it's going to pay off in the long run. Are the Lions ever going to be favorites to win anything going into a season in the next 4 to 5 years? Probably not. But goddamn, it felt good to see what they're building over there last night, especially with all the ex-players as the coaches, AJ.
Well, seeing the ex-players is cool, but I would feel like they have to be super frustrated in Detroit. Don't you know when coaches give you the coach speak, like, hey, we put together four or 5 weeks of great practice together. We're doing the right things. We're getting better. We're making plays during games. We can't find a way to win. And they've had some situations where they could have won games they lost. But now when you win a game like that against a team like the Cardinals that people were talking about being the best team in the NFC for a little while, like, okay, it's got to build some confidence. And, hey, like, we're on the right track.
And a lot of the conversation is the Arizona Cardinals are in a bad spot. And I almost started it, by the way, and you kept us off of that. The Lions do deserve a little bit. This never happens.
No, never.
This never happens.
Never.
This late in the season, too, it's like, hey, good on Detroit winning that game. Now, did Arizona lose it? Maybe. Okay, was there plays to be made by Kyler that weren't made that were normally made? Yes. Is no DeAndre Hopkins a massive advantage for the Detroit Lions, especially after we've seen the way Kyler and Nuke operate? Let me scramble, let me extend, I'll throw up, Nuke makes an insane catch. Obviously, that is a massive blow to the offense. But them kicking a surprise onside kick early, them kind of dominating and answering the bell, good on Detroit. Maybe the Cardinals aren't dead. Maybe they just happen to run into a buzzsaw that MCDC had turned on a long time ago, man.
I swear the Lions did play a perfect game. I said that already, but they did. They fumbled once. That was their only flaw. But then the defense came back. They got an interception right away. They didn't give the Cardinals any chance, which is so weird as a fan to watch the Lions because every single time I just assumed the other team will come back somehow, and they didn't.
I put a tweet out, hey, don't look now. It's 10-zip. Fucking Lions.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, 2 minutes later, hey, don't look now. It is 17-zip.
Whoa.
Lions. And then that is exactly when Foxy sends the text, hey, good time to live bet Cardinals right now. You're getting great odds, live money line bet for the Cardinals. This is classic Lions. This is classic Lions because that's what Lions fans, I think, have been accustomed to. Yeah. They always seem to have bursts of good in games. And then inevitably, it's heartbreaking loss after heartbreaking loss. So you get hope. It's like golf. You get hope, and then, quadruple bogey. Okay, I just shot 100 again. All right. Then you get hope. We're up 20. 4 pick sixes in the second half somehow. It's like, that has happened for a long time. I'm so happy for them.
Yeah, right now we're on that high side you're talking about where I think next year, 10-7 playoff win. I think we hired the best coach of the offseason out of anyone in the NFL this year.
I mean,
who's better?
Sirianni.
Staley's lost them some games.
What's going on?
Sirianni, I would give you an argument for.
Sirianni, Sirianni and MCDC, pretty similar brains too, man.
Yeah.
true.
Different delivery, different, I assume, vice choices.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
If they were to, not that they actually do, but I think if they were to be described as vices, MCDC's would be a little bit different than Sirianni's.
Yeah, I mean, they're 2-11-1. I don't want to, rain on the parade or anything, but they still fucking stink, okay? I mean, he's probably
they
better
beat
than
the Cardinals yesterday.
Absolutely.
Dude.
But I mean,
what have you done for me lately?
Yeah, sure. But
It's Every Action Monday, dude. Lions winning the Super. Is the Lions?
That's true.
Is Detroit getting a Super Bowl in a couple of years?
Yeah,
They can be favorites to win the
they might
NFC
turn it
North.
around.
Man.
I don't think any coach with that roster the Lions have could beat the Arizona Cardinals yesterday except for Motor City Dan Campbell.
Singba.
Kabinda.
Our fifth string running back ran for over
Simba?
100 yards.
This guy is awesome.
Yeah, I know. I didn't think that's who you were trying to talk about.
What was his name?
Jason
Kabinda.
Kabinda.
Simba sounds
With a B.
Kabinda.
Yeah.
I fucking love this dude. I saw 45 get in the end zone and I lost my mind. I'm like, it was on a TV below. I'm like, 45 just scored. What is going on down there? You look it up. 9th leading tackler of all time in Penn State history.
hell yeah.
I love this guy.
Well, you talk about that too. Like, it wasn't just him. Like, with the Cardinals, is it backbreaking when a guy who's wearing number 49 rushes for like 130 yards and 2 touchdowns on you?
There's a lot of bad numbers doing stuff in Detroit, AJ. A lot of bad
That
numbers.
takes its toll on you mentally, I think, Ty. Honestly, if they consistently run on you, yeah, that'll hurt you.
Kyler Murray, walked up that goddamn big high hill to get into the locker room or whatever, to get up in the Detroit locker room. You got to walk up this tunnel. It's up this hill, past people into this tiny little fucking room, tiny little locker room over there, inconveniently placed times 10 over there.
Getting a fight with the Lions because you're both in the same tunnel too, coming out.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Nice.
Kyler's walking up there. We just lost to people. I didn't even know their fucking names. A linebacker scored a touchdown to seal this thing against us. And I got a FaZe Clan meeting tomorrow. They're going to ask about all this shit. What do you think Kyler lost his confidence? No. Is that what happened, you think?
No, he was pissed at A.J. Green, I know, in the one pick. We acted like A.J. needed to come back to the ball more.
Because he made a play, and it involved A.J. Green. And he made
my gosh, that was unbelievable.
Bro, that was a soccer move. So in soccer, when you have your back to somebody, when you're running to a ball, there's big feints, like to get people to go so you can kind of turn the other way. Him running towards his own end zone with a guy on his tail, hitting him with a boom, and that guy, whoa, shit, falling basically, turning the opposite direction, throwing it 50 yards to A.J. Green, who somehow pulls it in. It's like those are the type of plays that you see where you're like, well, I'm betting on this guy against anybody. I'm betting on this dude against anybody. And this earlier this year in the run was magical. We were winning off of this. Now it looks like last year again, where my bank account, my FanDuel bank account is just taking a hitting because that one play happens where I'm betting them on, they're going to come back next week.
Yeah.
They're going to come back. I hope they do for the sake of Phoenix. That place was about to be alive out there.
It really does feel like he needs DeAndre Hopkins, which isn't like a shot at all because he's one of the best receivers, in the NFL. But without him, when they played against Chicago, that fourth down, just enough, fuck it, I'll just throw it up to DeAndre Hopkins down the sideline and, he makes a play.
It's not just that one play. It's a lot of plays.
Yeah.
Big-time
Get
plays.
Larry back.
You don't
think
want-
Larry will come back?
Well,
He's been doing that show.
Yeah.
that's right.
But
What's it?
he's never on it, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's very odd.
Let's go.
Sometimes.
I thought he was a producer.
What do you mean? He's not on it?
It's on sometimes.
No, I thought he was
Every
in
episode
studio.
I've listened to, he has not said a word. So unless he's just sitting there.
He's a quiet guy.
Hey, that's what people think of AJ that only watch the clips.